Alright everyone, the main video of the day is actually related to my Amazon foibles. That is, of course, for those that don't know, and that's like 10 of you, I am a self-published author and editor on Amazon, and that's the main income that I make, and that's one reason why I've maintained my independence on YouTube, on alt tech sites. One of the reasons I was able to dedicate so much time to these endeavors, and why I can sort of say what I want to say, and I don't have to temper what I'm saying, and I can say fuck and it doesn't matter, is because if I get abused by YouTube algorithms or something, I still have latitude because I've got a totally different source of income. So I can just sort of be myself and not worry too much about clickbaiting, maximizing Patreon revenue and stuff like that, like some people have to do. And I'm not even throwing shade, but some people have to do that for pragmatic purposes. However, since the 10th, over the last 3 days, Amazon paperback sales have been considerably lower than normal, and there are only two possibilities here. An algorithm change, that is something that's affecting my sales, through searchability mainly on site, or direct suppression. Thankfully, I think it's the former, not the latter. I don't think I'm being suppressed directly because it doesn't appear to have affected digital sales. So my theory is that this has to do with paperback searchability. Most of my works aren't offered in digital yet. Obviously, that's going to need to change. That's going to be one reaction that I can tell you up front. I'm going to start releasing Kindle versions of as many of my books as possible. Some of them will be blocked because of uniqueness. It figures in with the KDP system. It's an arcane system as far as digital goes. That's why I preferred paperbacks. But I need your help. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's not going to stop me from doing my work. It's not going to demoralize me. It's just going to piss me off and make me work harder. But I need your help. Thousands of you that see this video, tens of thousands of people will see this video. Thousands of you have bought collectively tens of thousands of my books. The vast majority of you have never left a review on any of my works or even a rating. Now, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. That's your prerogative. If you wish to help me, though, it's much as I've said for the last few years. If you rate one of my works after buying it, it's worth 10 times more than the sale itself. You've essentially just given me a wad of cash. Because Amazon searchability is in part related to two things. Is the work rated consistently well? And what proportion of ratings are there to the proportion of sales? The higher that number is, the better. The more reviews, especially, or ratings in general that you get per work, the better, according to Amazon's terms. There's more, they assume that your product is better if it's getting more reviews and better reviews. Now keep in mind, I am not asking anyone for fake reviews or fake ratings, only people who have actually bought my works and actually feel inclined to do so. I'm not breaking any TOS under Amazon, under their terms, under this. I'm saying that thousands of you have bought books and 90% of you have never left a rating. It takes 5 seconds to do that. Go to your purchase, and I don't know if everyone knows how to do this. I think you just go to your purchases and you find the entry, and then once you click on it, it gives you the option to rate it. It then gives you an option to review it, and that takes a little bit longer, but it's still only a minute. Leave a sentence or two saying that you enjoyed the work if you feel inclined to do so. If this is done by enough of you, if a few hundred people were to do this just for an afternoon, it'd take you 5 minutes tops. I have no doubt that the sales, regardless of algorithmic shifts, would rise considerably, because that's how Amazon's system works. Many of my works have no ratings on them. Most of them have no reviews. That's not because people didn't buy them. It's just because, for the most part, if you get 50 sales, you might get 1 rating. Some of these are labor of love works where I may not have even gotten 50 sales. For some of those that have, like the Book of Forbidden Knowledge is my most popular work, but I took the liberty of looking up some search terms associated with it. It appears to now be behind a competitor that has 1/5 as many ratings. And part of this, it could be because it's gotten fewer sales, but it's gotten more ratings per sale. So obviously, if you help out, this can be undone. I can go back to being fully independent and not having to worry about income. It doesn't mean I'm hurting for certain, so to speak, but when a proportion of your main income, when you've got an over 50% reduction overnight in paperbacks, it's not anything I did. I didn't change anything. The works didn't suddenly get worse. It's not like somebody went on a blitzkrieg against my books on Amazon and started leaving 1-star reviews. I didn't notice any evidence of that. So it has to be something on Amazon's end. So I ask for your help. Leave a rating if you feel inclined. Only on works you've purchased, nothing fake. And even better if you write a review. Just a couple of sentences if you feel inclined to do so. I do ask that you do, though. I'm officially requesting of you as a patron of my work in some way, if you like the book, please do at least rate it. It takes you 5 seconds of your time if you can get to the actual entry. Some of you have bought my books in the last few weeks statistically. Well, here I'm asking you to do your clanker's duty here and help me a little bit. That's how I maintain my independence and latitude over the tech firms. There is no, by the way, POD competitor to Amazon KDP. Oh, there are that you either have to pay for that are extremely limited. The problem is there's no alt-tech alternative to Amazon. Doesn't exist. There's an alt-tech alternative to YouTube. There's an alt-tech alternative to Twitter. There's an alt-tech alternative to Apple products and all of these other things. There's nothing comparable for Amazon because of the structure of how self-publishing and book sales actually work. Doesn't exist. Probably never will unless the government gets involved, which I don't even support. So yes, as someone who is mainly an author and editor for money purposes, I have to ask for your help. I'll keep working on my end. I'm asking for a little bit of a chip in from other people. I'll be like Joe Biden. Won't you chip in 5 ratings? No more malarkey. From Amazon, preferably. That's about all. Peace out.